But during that journey of becoming a YouTuber, like
Yeah.
a road to success isn't always easy. And I think one of the things that I saw around your journey, and we've seen recently some automotive YouTubers have some difficulties with their channels and journeys and mistakes were made. But you had a pretty big online blow up around an instant with an Audi R8.
Yep.
Right. Do you want to explain what happened there?
Yeah. So back in 2018, back end of 2018, it was, I had an Audi R8 and I was actually going up to near Manchester where a good friend was getting married. And I decided that after his wedding weekend, I would take the car off somewhere nice to film a review and video on it as I was up there. Now, at the time, I didn't realize that the Snake Pass was quite a hot spot for speeding and motorbikes and accidents and loads of things going on there. I didn't realize that, and I just thought it looked like a lovely road to film a video on. So I've gone up there with the R8. As it turned out, the weather wasn't that great. It was quite a sort of grey day, and I decided not to film a video there because it was busier than I thought. And I thought, you know what, I'll film my review when I'm back down nearer London where I live. But while I'm here, let's just get a couple of clips of videos because I'm on this picturesque road. I'm in this R8. So I decided, because most people love the R8, and I know you can relate to this, is the V10 engine is a big part of that car. So I put a mic in the engine bay and I put a GoPro down the side of the car and just filmed. It was about a 40-second clip of me meandering down this road with the V10 soundtrack really blaring. So you could just hear V10, gear changes. Now, it wasn't a clip of me saying, look at me, look how fast I'm going, because if you look at the clip, anyone that can actually drive, it's not fast. There's not like crazy amounts of speed there. I'm not denying that I wasn't speeding. And of course, a massive regret of what I did eventually came down to me getting done for speeding. And I don't condone speeding, especially on a public road. But what happened from that small clip, the police and the Crown Prosecution Service clearly decided to make an example of me.
Which one of their titles that they used was Joe Achilles gets speeding fine after police spot video of him driving a £125,000 Audi R8 at nearly 100 mile an hour on Britain's most dangerous road.
Yes, exactly. So as we know, headlines, as we do with titles, we like to jazz them up a bit. And yeah, when you put all those ingredients together, I mean, it looks really bad. And like I said, and I've said this many times, I put my hand up to speeding. I was over the speed limit for the majority of that clip. Was I dangerous driving? Was I showing off about speed? Absolutely not. There's nothing in that clip that is dangerous or alarming. And that begs the question, 12 months on from that, when we were in court and the judge actually saw the video, he asked them to replay it 3 times and then looked at the police and everyone that was in the courtroom and basically said to him, if we hadn't just been through 12 months of all this process and coming to court, if I'd just seen that and you're telling me that Mr. Achilles has not caused any harm, damage, been reported, or I don't understand what we're looking at here. You've proved that he was speeding, but I mean, really, like, what is that clip about, and why have we got to...
What more do you want to do?
Yeah, what more do you want to do, and why have we got to this place?
Why had you got to that place? So the video goes live. What then happened between then and ending up in court with a judge looking at it like that?
So the video went live on my Instagram page and on my Facebook page. So about 10 days after that, I got an email from... it was an Audi press car, which obviously at the time was difficult. I got an email from the Audi press department saying we've had a notice of intended prosecution with our car in it over these dates. So it's like, well, yep, okay, I was the only one insured in it. I had the car and it was up near the Snake Pass, whatever the postcode was, Derbyshire. Yep, that was me. So anyway, yes, it was me. Right, we'll give them your details. That's how it works for press cars. So then the police then forward that to you as the driver. So I'd then had a a week or so to think, wait a second, like where did I get done? Where's the cameras? And I knew I'd recorded basically my entire run. So I'm looking on the camera going, there's no cameras. There's no speed. Researching, are there any cameras? No, there used to be one here, but that's not in use anymore, blah, blah, blah. Are there any undercover vans? And I've gone up and down it 1,000 times. I'm like, I don't understand where they've got this from. But anyway, so yes, I was the driver of this car. Now, about 4.5 months. So after I've sent this off, yes, I was a driver. But I said I wasn't dangerous driving because they'd put me down as dangerous driving and excessive speeding. And I said, as far as I'm aware, I wasn't speeding and I wasn't dangerous driving. Sent it off. 4.5 months later, maybe it was nearly 5 months later, I came home from another press launch and I couldn't open the front door because there was an envelope that was that big behind it with 90 pages of from the CPS, basically going through frame by frame. It was like you'd think I'd just gone and murdered like 50 children or something. The amount of work and time and effort and money they'd put into this document. I mean, is it a document? It wasn't. It was a book.
Which is what I'm not used to seeing the police do either.
Yeah, exactly. Especially up there where there was a lot of real crime going on. They seem to be ignoring. But anyway, so I had this 90-page, and I'm not exaggerating, it was 89 pages document going through frame by frame of my camera, of my this, of that, you're doing this speed here. They'd use this guy, they've got this expert along who I'd found out since is only used in mass pile-ups on motorways where there's multiple fatalities and stuff. He's the big wig that the police will use or the Crown prosecution will use when there's serious incidents. Otherwise, this guy wouldn't get out of bed for less than...
Just to clarify, to watch a video to figure out how fast a car is going based on its movements past a line.
Exactly. And that's what people need to realise is this camera, firstly, it didn't even show me. Secondly, it didn't show speed or anything because it was outside.
Which is your own GoPro attached to a car.
My own GoPro.
And they'd pick that footage up and then was rolling with
They'd use points along the road, various points, whether it's a tree or a farm gate, and they'd then gone down there and measured it all up. All of this was in the booklet.
Wow.
So 45 pages of that was that. The next 45 pages, which is really interesting and something that obviously never gets talked about in the press or didn't get talked about in the press when it all came out, was the other half of the booklet was the dangerous driving side of it. Now, while I had that R8, I was filming a video with Auto Trader at a place called Long Cross Studios, which is kind of dying or almost not available so much nowadays. But it used to have a beautiful road that a lot of the magazines and stuff would test on.
I drove it as a driving experience when I was younger.
Did you? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
it looks like a normal UK road, right? And actually you see it in a lot of films and programs these days still. I'm always like, that's filmed at Long Cross. But we'd filmed this video where it was that versus a Tesla, and there was a jump at the Long Cross Studios. I can't remember what it was called, but there was a jump section where in a fast car like an R8, you could come out of this hairpin and actually just get some air over it. But it was designed so the car wouldn't nose. It was like a test facility almost. So part of that video was the R8 just jumping over this thing. And we had cameras set up and everything. Patrick had taken a video clip on his phone behind the scenes. And I'd posted that on my Instagram around the same time as this other video clip. And I'd said, clearly filmed on private land, blah, 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 blah. We had the entire Auto Trader, the amount of evidence and proof we had that we were there with that car doing exactly that they had the proper footage from the cameras. There was no getting away from the fact that what we had filmed was there on private land. But this expert had said that I'd jumped the R8 along that clip was actually along the Snake Pass.
Tried to pile that in.
Piled it in. Trust me, I've only been along the Snake Pass that once and I'm probably never going back again. But from memory, there is nowhere that you could jump an R8 along the Snake Pass unless you're doing 300 miles an hour, right?
So you had to convince them that clip was from Long Cross and the other one was the clip that fair enough.
Yes, but to do that costs a lot of money, and because you need your expert, you need need to go legal, obviously. Then you need your own expert to prove them wrong, even though you can't. It's not just a case of going, no, 1 second, you're wrong. No, the process and the expense of trying to plead your innocence is really, really difficult. And the reason that they'd used that second part, I'm sure, is what really convinced the Crown Prosecution Service and got some energy behind going after me. But after I'd proven my innocence around that, it was then too late, because it was like, okay, then, all right, so you didn't jump the car, no dangerous driving. We're now going to focus on the speeding. But by that point, you're knees deep, and they've already got you. They've got you in the name of the law, and they've got you in court. But it was such an in the court with my own expert, I managed to prove that the speeds they'd used were incorrect, because I actually had in-car footage and stuff. I was speeding, but I wasn't. They say, I think some of the articles, I think they said they proved that I was doing up to 93 miles an hour, which soon became 100 and 100 plus, and all these headlines. But I'd proved that wasn't correct, and I think the top speed that I proved I was doing was 78, which is still over the limit. But in an R8 along a beautiful road, 70 odd miles an hour, it's not dangerous driving. It's just stupidity. So I'd proved all that. But the very next day after this is also, I'd had 10, 11 months of all this situation happening, spending 20 odd grand in legal fees, which is every penny I had at the time. Saw back for about 6 months because of the stress of it all and all the rest of it. It was just horrible. I hated that period of my life. To then walk out of the courtroom after the judge seeing everything, eventually seeing pity in what had happened and how I'd kind of been targeted. He gave me 6 points because he asked me, clean license. Yep, I had a clean license 10 years. Will 6 points affect your living and all the rest of it? No. 6 points is actually quite good, because that then I can't do anything naughty after 6 points. 6 points is a fair thing for my speeding, etc. I'd walked out of the courtroom. The very next morning, I was at work, and with one of my clients, and suddenly I'm getting loads of messages from friends. And I picked up the Metro this morning. You're in the Metro. You're on the news. The BBC went down there. They sent a whole team of people to the Snake Pass on the section of road where I was driving to report. And again, it's like, but 1 second, guys, what did I actually do? Did I kill, did I have an accident and kill someone that I wasn't aware of? Because the way you're reporting about it, it seems like I did, right? Or was it, inverted commas, just a speeding incident? And then Adam Shipley, who was the guy that was in charge of the police, this particular thing, he went to town. He went up and down the country to all the newspapers and basically badmouthed me. I mean, you can read up all the articles, the stuff he said. On one article to a Scottish newspaper, he said, this should teach people like Achilles, people like Mr. Achilles, who think they can come to our country and drive like... And it's like, what, because I've got a surname? Do you know what I mean? Things like that. And the press just ran with it. And thankfully, they say, what is it? Yesterday's news lines our bins or whatever. It did blow over relatively quickly, but I did get some really horrible hatred and emails around it.